like value and volume is the volume of your practice shouldn't affect the quality of the practice. So if I turn a song up, it doesn't make the song better. It just kind of changes the experience of the song and changes the tonality of the experience of the song. If I turn like Beethoven's concerto down, doesn't make it not as good. It just kind of changes the experience of it. So I want you just to explore volume of your practice, being able to play with like turning it up or down, but not thinking that it's making it better if you're sweating, or it's not as good if you're not. And so I'm going to take the more quiet road personally today, just to honor where I'm at today. We worked really strongly last week, so that was really good, and I got some great feedback from that. But it's the new moon, so with the new moon, it's a great time of the month to kind of, we may not have a ton of energy, like we're not like necessarily staying up late at night and like having like epiphanies all day, but we are maybe getting some more like quiet, subtle stuff, like some more internal stuff. So it's a great time to set intentions. And if you remember when we were in class, we would do kind of the marker things, and we were really actually visibly set an intention. So we'll be able to do that today. But how I want to practice today is a little more quietly in that way. You know, this practice today is going to be around this idea of focus, which I think is really important, and especially now as we kind of get into those weeks leading up to a pretty big event in America. And there's a lot of action that we have to take. Like there's like voting plans, and there's like mobilizing people, and then there's like making sure, you know, there's a lot to make sure you're doing things correctly. If you're voting for, you know, your dad, like I am, and making sure I'm filling things out correctly. And so there's a lot of just like energy out there. And there always is, but I think particularly right now it's kind of frenetic. And so the class today, I want to have it be around focus. And we'll bring in this idea of dristi, which I think most of you have experienced. And we talked about dristi before in class. We know kind of it's the visual gaze. But instead of it thinking about like dristi as in like what I'm looking at, I want to think about dristi as in like the quality of how I'm looking at it. So even if I'm doing a balancing pose, a standing balancing pose, which we will do today, I don't care if it's necessarily like you're really focused on, you know, a piece of something on the wall. I rather think about how you're focused on it. And we'll do the balancing poses not so that we can be perfect in them, but so that we can actually just like bring up our level of focus, and explore that. I, you know, really struggle with focus, and as a 20-something, I mean, probably because I wasn't like sleeping well or eating well or doing many things well, but focus, I was like a self-diagnosed ADD person. But in these most recent years, I really have been interested in like how to become more focused. And that really helps with parenting, of course, you know, keeping people safe and life well, and then also with school and being a teacher and showing up. And so that continuity of breath is going to help us focus as well. So we kind of have 4 points today we're going to focus on. Focus with the dristi is going to help us with that. Balance, so we're going to do some standing balance stuff. So if you have a wall, kind of scope out where you would want to be if you have challenges with balance, or if they come up spontaneously, like they will probably for me. And then we want to focus on the floor and like feeling as though we're really grounded on the floor, and that we're like our hands are, you know, pressing down and the feet are pressing down, because that will help the balance. And then the fourth thing I had to write down so I don't miss it is continuity of breath. So just making sure that we're, you know, letting ourselves catch our breath and letting ourselves have that breath moving in and out, so it doesn't get ragged or anything like that. So we'll get started from there. I'm just gonna make sure everyone's in. Looks like we are. Okay. If anyone gets kicked out, my phone, just call me, because that way I can actually let you in. I'm gonna go over here for 1 second. Okay, so let's go ahead and get comfy. For the balancing stuff, if you think that you're gonna need a stool or a block, you know, to have that at the ready. So be a little bit meticulous with your throne and with your seat. You're doing Sukhasana, the shins are not crossed, just want to indicate that. So sometimes we cross like that, which is nice. So we kind of do some other versions, but Sukhasana is you don't have to worry about crossing. So if there's knee stuff, it's easier to throw some blocks under there. And you like that. Okay. And then maybe close the eyes down or hood them slightly. And take some time here. We'll take like the length of 5 breaths, which is about 30 seconds, to really think about and be with any intentionality that's going to be helpful for you, over this next month. What's a way of being that would be foundational, that could be essential for your joy, for your ability to stay above water, for your ability to thrive, right? We're not just trying to survive, we're trying to really like thrive in our lives. And right from here, start to have that continuity of breath in and out. Once you feel like you set the tone with that, we'll just bring the hands up and around. Good. And then exhale, bring the hands together behind the head. And just make two fists with your hands. And then keep them behind the head. Press the fists together. Just to like flip the switch of the shoulders. So you feel like your shoulders are really like, oh yeah, there's the back of the body. I'll need that, right? The ribs maybe jutting out. So just gonna soften the chest. Notice which shoulders over efforting or pushing harder, and just see if you can spread the wealth a little bit there. Always a good practice. Okay. And then release the knuckles here, and then just let the hands kind of just be behind the head, like you're getting some R&R. We're not gonna do a lot of core stuff today, but we'll just kind of add this in here. So this one's a little rhythmic, so you can watch first if you want. So we're just gonna turn to the right, turn to the left, and then right, right. So it's a little left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. You got the drift, right? So you're just gonna do that. It's like a 1, 2, 2 little pulsation, right? So let's try it without focusing on the breath. So just try the movement on its own. And then you might naturally find that the exhales are where you kind of pulsate. If that's not happening, let's try to do that intentionally. As you do this, your focus is the center of the fire, the core. Good. Maybe just 2 more rounds like that. And then go ahead and let the hands come down. Okay. Move the shoulders a little bit for the neck here. Okay. Right, go ahead and tuck the chin. And then start to just turn the right ear toward the right shoulder. Keep the chin down, however, so the chin is kind of like slightly down, like you're looking down toward the floor. Good. And then take your right hand and place it onto the left shoulder. So you're just going across the body here with the arm. And let the weight of that right hand just pull the left shoulder down here. If any movement is good, then go ahead or add that in. Stretching those scalene muscles, which are connecting to the collarbones all the way up into like the occipital ridge, maybe even the mandible, where you chew. And then go ahead, release that chin down. Go ahead and sweep it over, get some cracks in there. Sweep it over to the other side. Keep the chin down here, gaze is down, and then take the left hand and grab for the right shoulder. And just hook it on there and let the weight of the arm just rest. One more breath in and out here. Okay, good. And let go of that. Chin to chest here for a moment and let the head come back up. Okay. Let's make our way out to a downward dog. And when you come into downward dog, like get still pretty quickly, like out the gate. We're gonna move in and build some heat. It's cool where I'm at, so I'm happy to start getting a little bit warmer. Okay. So right when we get into our downward dog, we're gonna do our first round of checks and balances. So we find our dristi. And again, not worrying about what you're looking at, but really the quality. So just soften the eyes like you're looking at some art or something beautiful, some architecture, something that usually stops you in your tracks. And then come back to that continuity of breath, in and out. Feel the floor underneath the feet and underneath your fingertips and the pads of the fingers and the palms. And then feel the balance. So right now we're not technically in a balancing pose, but there is a balance happening from the front to the back of the body. So turn the core on a little bit more here. On your next inhale, come forward to plank. And then exhale back, down dog. Just 2 more times, come onto the tiptoes, come forward to plank. Look forward and then exhale, down dog. Heels down. Inhale, lift the heels up, come forward to plank. Then from your plank pose, look at the hands. Take like 6 inches, maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 6 inches. I'm not gonna be a stickler for that. Hands are forward, but it's just something that's obvious. Like when you're like, okay, my hands are obviously in front. Feeling the body, really generate its own heat. If you're running out of gas here, put the knees down. Good, and then we'll all put the knees down. Okay. And come back to a child's pose and keep the hands forward. On your next inhale, come forward to tabletop. Tuck the toes, exhale back, down dog. Inhale forward to plank pose. One more time like that, but a little bit, let's listen to the tempo here. Step the hands forward, 1 or 2 or 3 to 5, how many inches? Exhale, soften the knees down, down dog, child's pose. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale back, down dog. And actually, let's make this the last one. Inhale forward to plank. Either stay here or walk the hands forward for that long, venti plank. And then exhale back to child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, narrow the knees off, exhale back, down dog. On your next inhale, reach the right leg up. And then classic here, just bend the right knee, look under the right armpit. Remove the ankle. On the next inhale, straighten your legs out. Exhale, step it forward. Take that in parts here. This is a classic way to kind of scooch it up. Good. And then soften the knees. We're going to come up really, like not a long time, just briefly coming up into a high lunge here. Bring the hands at the heart. Really simple start. So in your high lunge here, just tune into the dristi. So look toward like the fingertips or beyond them. And then soften the gaze. On your next exhale, let the hands come down. Either lower the back knee and then step back, or just step right back to plank. On the next exhale, we can lower down knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee here, look under the armpit. Inhale, straighten, and then exhale, step it through, or take it in parts and step it through. Bring that heel up if you're doing it that way. Okay. Soften the knees. Come into a high lunge. The hands stay at the heart here again. Again, come back to your dristi. Come back to that feeling of the feet really pressing into the earth. Continuity of breath in and out. Now we are kind of getting into balance in the world. And then on the next exhale, bring the hands down. Either step right back to plank or lower the right knee and then step back. Walk the hands forward a little bit. Exhale, lower the knees down, child's pose. Inhale, come back up to your tabletop. And exhale, go ahead and come back, down dog. Take 3 to 5 breaths here in your downward dog. Just scoot you guys back. The bottom of that next exhale, bend the knees, hop or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, long flat backs. We've been working on this for a few weeks now. I know I can kind of keep my hands down, but then my shoulders are lower than my hips, and then my neck is going to kind of do this. Doesn't really feel great, so go ahead and bring those hands higher up on your shins or even on the thighs so that the shoulders and the hips are the same height. This is just to make the back do something, like do the work, right? And then on the exhale, fold in half. Inhale, come all the way up, sweep the arms. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, long, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. So right now, we're kind of starting to really set that tempo for like how we want to move. I'll go silent in a couple minutes, and then I'll put some tunes on and we can kind of flow however you like, but this is kind of the beginning of that. So making the practice work for you. If the back is feeling tender, make these smaller movements so they're not so global. So to become really smaller until the spine feels like it's ready to move more globally. One more, wherever you're at, one more. The next time you're standing up or the arms are up, let's meet there. Let's meet in like a Tadasana, hands at the heart or by your side. So we'll do one round of Surya Namaskar A together, just so you're kind of like refreshing your mind on it. And then I'll quiet myself, and then we'll have like 3.5 minutes to go, and you'll know that it's done because the song will be done. Okay, so let's just try together and kind of get it going. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long, flat back, look forward. Exhale, take a big right step back, lower the right knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg back up again. Exhale, step it through. So it's right back, right forward. Lower the back knee, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Inhale, long, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach down through the heels. Exhale, come right back down. Inhale, long, flat back. Exhale, left step back. Lower the left knee down. When you do it on your own, you can keep this a high lunge, whichever lunge, right? Reaching up, just depends on your energy level. Exhale, hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Again, you can come right into child's pose, or you can do chaturanga, or in between. And exhale back, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, high, medium, or low lunge. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Inhale, long, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So here, you all can continue on. I'll play a song that's like 3.5 minutes. That way, when it's done, you know that you're not like, you haven't been logged out of class or anything like that, okay? So just keep going here.
show fear, even in my eyes. I will always rise in wildfires. I ain't never been scared, even through my tears. I will always care in wildfires. But we will never show fear, even in my eyes. I will always rise in wildfires. I ain't never been scared, even through my tears. I will always care in wildfires.
Keep flowing, and then whenever you're at the top of the mat, we'll meet there. Really nice. Okay. Okay, I think we're all there now. Okay, good job. So being in your mountain pose, your Tadasana, feeling the heat. It's really nice to just practice on your own together, right? Following that solidarity, community, collaboration. On the next inhale, let's reach the arms up together. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, take a big right step back and then come into the downward dog. See if you can keep those 4 checkpoints in the mind, and I'll kind of bring them back in now. So as you're in your downward dog, again, come back to your dristi. The quality of the gaze. Just like the quality of your day, it's not so much how much you can do in a day, how productive you can be, but it's about the quality of what you do, even if it's one thing. And then try to engage with the floor. So feel the fingers and the feet, everything grounding down. Feeling the balance, feeling where your body is in space, and then the continuity of the breath. On the next inhale, let's reach the right leg up. Exhale, go ahead and step it forward between the hands. You can widen your feet east and west, because now we're going to do a little more balance stuff, and then come on up to a high lunge. But keep the hands down here just for a moment. Keep them like at the heart center, just so we can kind of workshop it a little bit. Okay, so in our high lunge, just feeling the back leg kind of reaching back. I tend to have really tight hip flexors since I was a teenager. So for me, I really start with the knee bent, and then if I feel like I'm ready to, I'll straighten that. I don't just go into that straight mode, because I can easily kind of like overdo this. So just see how you're feeling, see if the glutes can do some work here, then the front leg. Okay, so now we're gonna bring in some balance, but we're not gonna do warrior 3 how we normally do it. Usually we kind of just like leap forward into space, and then we hope that we land okay, and we just kind of be here. Okay, so instead we're gonna do it in a couple of steps. So hands are active prayer. You're going to step your left foot in just a little bit without using the body to lurch forward. So keep the body pretty stable. Just step the back foot in. And then lean your torso forward. Bend the standing leg. It's gonna feel like, whoo, okay, I'm working. Without lurching forward, no sudden movements, just lift the back leg any amount. This is my second time doing this practice and I'm feeling it, okay? All right, and then we're just gonna come right back, but instead of kind of plopping down, place the left foot down and then see if you can slide it back, but keep leaning forward, okay? And then come back to your high lunge with the hands at the heart. Okay, let's straighten the right leg. The hands come down for a moment. We're gonna do that one more time. So same side, second time. So bend the front knee again, hands are at the heart. Start to lean forward and then real discreet, like lean forward a little bit more. See if you can get that back foot in a little bit. And then even more discreetly leaning forward, lifting the back leg up. Exhale, set it down, but keep leaning forward. And then see if you can slide the back foot back. High lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Step on back, down dog. You can move through a vinyasa here, or you can again just come right into child's pose, or just stay in downward dog. On the next inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step it through, or lower the right knee and then bring it up. Come into your high lunge again here. Hands are at the heart. Start to reach back through the right heel. Okay. Nice. Make sure you're coming from you're wide and then you're gonna go shorter. So if you're already short, it's like, well, what are we doing, right? Okay, so now from here, start to lean forward a little bit. Bend the left leg. Step it forward. It's hard not to be kind of sudden here, but we'll keep trying. Okay, bend the standing leg even more. Lean the chest forward as if you're gonna like grab something on the floor. And then the counterbalance of that lets the right leg lift. Exhale, set it right back down, but keep coming forward as if you're gonna pick something up. And then come on back. Let's try that just one more time on this side. So second side, same side. Second side, second side. Second time, second side. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. So let's come forward here. As if you're gonna reach down and pick something up. So quite a deep bend. Bring the back foot in and then lift it up. Exhale, set it down. Keep leaning forward as if I'm gonna pick something up and then come back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Step back into plank or downward dog. Do your thing here. The higher the low road. Again, volume, not value. Excuse me. So come back into your downward dog here for a moment. Tune in, breath, dristi, quality. So we're gonna get into standing balancing pose, and there's nothing that makes you focus more than a standing balance twist. So kind of be ready for that mentally. And again, it's not about not falling, it's really about letting the balance guide you toward your optimal amount of focus. Okay. So from here, we'll reach the right leg up again. Exhale, step it through. Soften the knees, come up to your high lunge. And then bring the hands to your heart. From here, same deal. We're gonna tip the body forward and think about bending that front leg even more. So that's really bearing a lot of weight. And then scooch the foot forward a little bit more and then even further forward. So you stand up here. And now imagining that you're bending the right knee out. Bend the right knee as if you're gonna land on the ground, but you're not. You're gonna upright yourself. So you're actually gonna come to stand up. Bring the left knee up. And then exhale, figure four, standing figure four. So go ahead and bring the outer left ankle on top of the right thigh. This is a great one. Usually we do this with a wall when we're at the Y. Hands can stay in prayer here. You can really kind of squat your left butt cheek. I guarantee you is gonna sag. So lift up the left butt cheek and just see if that changes anything. Dristi, quality, soften the gaze. You're awestruck from the inside out. That either staying up high here or maybe finding a stool or a block, couch, whatever. More advanced practitioners or people who like arm balances could even play with bringing the hands down and getting a little bit of an arm balance with the elbows kind of on the shin. Okay. And then let's all just go ahead, step the left foot down, come into a chair pose briefly. Exhale, fold. Inhale, giant right step back. Okay. And then let's actually come up, let's save some time here. So let's come up with the left leg in front this time. So left leg is in front, hands are at the heart. Start to tip forward. Scooch the back foot in halfway. And then without lurching forward and throwing yourself, right? See if you can just bend the standing leg and really come slowly into warrior three. Bend your standing leg again as if you're gonna land, but you're not. You're gonna upright yourself. Coming up, hug the leg. Good. And then take that figure four on the second side here. Hands can stay at the heart. If you need a wall, walk away from the camera, go get one. Lift the right butt cheek up. Dristi, continuity of your breath. The feet pressing into the earth and then balance. 4 points. Those are like the evergreen points of a yoga practice. They really never get old. You have tried the other variation. Okay, and then we'll all go ahead and place the right foot down. Just a great chair pose. So much easier standing on two legs, isn't it? And then exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, giant left step back. Exhale, downward dog or plank. If you're in plank, you can either try that variation of making a venti plank, a longer plank here, taller plank. And then lowering down to a child's pose or doing your own variations. And then wherever you are, let's all take a child's pose for about 5 breaths. So while you're here in this moment of silence for a breath or two more, not very long, I was wanting to share that I read something, or Catherine Budig shared a quote from someone in her life, and it says, in the absence of feedback, people will fill it in with negativity. So sometimes when we have that silence in our practice, we start to fill it in with like stuff or junk or just kind of throwaway things. So in those silent moments where you're in child's pose or in downward dog, or you're focusing on the breath or not, just be mindful of what you're putting back into the space. And let's all come up to tabletop again. Exhale back, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Slowly come up to your high lunge. Now, if you have a block or a stool, this is the moment to kind of prep it in the left area region of your mat. Okay? And if you don't, maybe you won't use it, but let's see. Okay, so from here, I'm going to turn this way because I think I might need to see you guys. From here, we're going to do the same thing. Now we're going to add a little more balance into it, a little more challenge rather. So tipping forward, scooch the back foot in without lurching or kicking yourself forward. See if you can just lean the body forward, let the body kind of counterbalance, okay? And then keep the left leg lifted. Bring your left hand down onto a block or a stool or the floor, okay? Take your right hand and bring it onto like the hip point or the low back. But keep your dristi down. It's very typical to kind of want to look toward the side of the room or even try to like crane your neck up. That's not wrong. That's just not what we're doing today. So the dristi is down and we're focusing on the quality of that. Softening the gaze. Maybe reach the right arm up, maybe not. Start to bend the standing leg especially. And then see if you can upright yourself. You got to take a pit stop in between. It's no love lost. Okay? And then go ahead and come on up here. Good. So now we have the left leg lifted in like an L shape. Take your right hand and grab the outside of the left leg. Boy, I wish I had a wall here. Okay? And then holding on here, start to take a twist to the left. You're either staying here for a breath more, or breath or 3 more, or you're going to reach for your left big toe. And see if you can straighten any amount without completely going topsy-turvy. Better luck next time for some of us, and then we'll go ahead and release that. Let the left leg come back to a warrior one. Thank goodness. Okay, so land the feet. Let's make that a little not as wide. Okay, so warrior one. It's our first time doing warrior one today. So, okay. On the next exhale, bring your hands down, step on back. Vinyasa or not. I think that should be like a t-shirt idea. Either vinyasa or not. And let's all take a few breaths whenever, if you are doing vinyasa in a child's pose or any restorative pose. It could be sitting upright. I've been really liking that lately. Take a moment to settle up here. So like get the breath on track again. Start to get ragged, like with me. Just slow it down. And the next couple of breaths, start to make your way back to a tabletop position. And then on the exhale, feel the floor beneath you as you lift into a down dog. On the inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward between the hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Block is down toward the right side of your mat here. Start to tip forward. And for me, it really does help to like reach down because that's that counterbalance I'm looking for. Scooch the back leg in a little bit and then a little bit more. Now we're in a warrior 3, but bring your right hand down to the block or the floor or a stool. Continue to look down. The dristi is like pouring out of your eyes here. It's like a beautiful waterfall. Left hand is on the low back. Pelvis is nice and stable. Maybe reach the left hand up for a moment. Start to bend the standing leg and then begin to upright yourself. Okay. Right leg is bent. Grab the outside of it with the left hand and then just turn the shoulders to the right. Keep the dristi wherever it kind of lands. Good. Staying here, kind of capturing the right big toe. And then slowly come out of that. Land the right leg back, warrior 1. Okay, nice. Big breath in. Thank the heavens here. Okay, exhale, bring the hands down. Step back into your plank pose. Exhale, your chaturanga or just meet in child's pose for a few breaths. And as you're in that child's pose or virasana, just taking a moment to kind of replay the importance of standing balance twist. Like that's like the most focus that will probably have to be in a yoga practice. It's a lot at stake. You're upright, you could fall, you're twisting, you're trying to figure out how to be in that space. And again, it's not about having that pose be perfect. It really is about being able to know how to turn the focus on at that level. And hopefully that'll trickle into our personal lives. And then we'll come back to tabletop. And then come back to your downward dog. I'm going to take like the next 5 minutes just to throw it back to last week. If you missed any of the showstoppers, that were pretty, yeah, let's give it a try. So from here, we'll come back to our downward dog. And this one's kind of a simple one, but it's still challenging. So I love these kind of poses. They're either accessible, but they're still hard, and they still require us to use effort, which is important. Okay. So from here, we're going to lift the right leg up. Walk your hands back like a couple inches. Okay. And then keep your right hand down. Right leg is lifted, right hand down. Right leg lifted, right hand down. Take your left hand and walk it back toward your left leg. Maybe you have to stop halfway and that's it. Okay. Or maybe you find a plant with your foot. Is that what's happening back there? Or find the left part of your calf or ankle and hold on to it. Ooh, that balance, right? Soften your gaze. And then replace the left hand back. Bring the foot down. Come forward to plank and then lower the knees down. Either take a child's pose for a few breaths or come into sit up here. We'll slowly start to make our way back to tabletop. Let's try that on the next side. On the inhale, lift the left leg up. Okay. And then start to just inchworm, but like bigger than an inchworm, kind of like bunny hopping the right hand back toward the right foot. And then grabbing onto anything you got there, anything you can get for a second, for a breath. And then go ahead and replace the right hand. Set the left leg down. Good job. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower the knees down. Rest in a child's pose. And the next breath or two, start to make your way back up. So now we're kind of in that home stretch of class. We got like 10 minutes left. So in these next few poses, I want you to kind of have that in mind. So even though the volume will still be kind of challenging and loud in a way, we want to start to just like quiet down the inside a little bit more. So this was a throwback from last week that I was trying to do, okay? So we'll come into our plank pose or keep one leg down. Let's see how it goes, okay? So we'll reach the right leg up. Exhale, right knee goes toward left elbow, and then spin the left foot down. Start to lift the left arm up. This is it. You can get out of here, or you can straighten that right leg and place it down. Reach the left arm up. Last week we did it when we grabbed the big toe. You can try that again if you like. Again, I'm taking the left child road here. And then exhale, lower down. Take a vinyasa or just rest in child's pose. Okay, and then last, go at it here before we go into the back. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Come forward to that plank. So you're just tipping forward. You got this. Trust me, we did this last week, but also if we didn't, just give it a try here. Spin the right heel down. So to kick the left leg out, reach the right arm up. Set it down or grab the big toe. dristi, breath, balance, floor. Exhale, hands down. Downward dog, last vinyasa here. So we're going to come onto the backs here and we'll stay there for the rest of the class. Keep your knees bent. Feet on the floor, of course. And just give yourself a moment to arrive. Now, this is a great place to really focus on the gaze again, the quality of the gaze. So just thinking like there's like light beams coming out of the head from the eyes, lifting up. Again, kind of thinking of the quality, not thinking of your day as being the most productive day, but thinking about how can you be the most present. That's actually going to be your measure of success in a day. How present were you throughout the day? As opposed to, I got through my whole checklist, right? But was it a blur? Walk the feet back toward the butt a little bit more. And the feet should be a little more narrow than usual. They're not next to each other, but they're a little bit more toward the center of the body. That makes sense. And then you'll lift the hips up. If you're on your cycle, if you're menstruating today, you don't need to lift the hips up and do this whole part, right? You can kind of do the same thing from the hips being down, okay? But if you're not, you're gonna lift the hips up. And then start to just lift the right leg up here. Pressing down strongly through the left heel. Giving yourself one more breath here. And then exhale, place that foot down. Let's try that on the second side. So lift the hips up. Start to lift the left leg up. These poses are great because it's literally like when you're doing it, you like the ego can't really get involved. It's just like I'm just trying to hold on, I'm trying to just like do this pose and breathe and survive, right? And that's kind of what we want. We want to just kind of cut away all the extra stuff. You feel very crystalline, very focused. Stay with it, 2 more breaths. And then exhale, come on down. So I'm going to offer this if you have a back bend practice, if you want to do like bow pose, vertebra, dhanurasana, wheel pose, you're welcome to do that. If you don't have that as a practice, go ahead and do another round with the bridges, either with one leg or both legs. If you need to be restorative, you can slide a block or a pillow underneath the sacrum. So we have a few options that we can go for here. I'm really adventurous at the same time, so I'm gonna give it a try. If you want to try wheel with me, I'll go through it. Hands are underneath above the shoulders. Now I just gonna tap out halfway. We'll see. Okay, being here, and then pressing. Wherever you are, again, the dristi, the quality of the breath is your focus. Take 3 to 5 breaths to either switch sides if you're doing one leg and the other. And then once you're complete with your choice there, you can come into your vinyasa. We'll be there for a couple minutes. Okay, or come into a restorative rest. So restorative rest would be like the feet are wide, the knees are knocking in, and we're there. And as you notice the empty space here, space where you kind of excavated some of the stagnant energy, maybe some of the weightiness of the weekend or the week past. The yoga practice has the power to do that, to like literally excavate, remove debris. Let the body rest in that space, float in that clarity and that awareness. Either staying in your restorative rest or your shavasana, or rolling to one side and joining me in a seated meditation. Having a really beautiful sense of economy of movement. So nothing extra. It doesn't need to happen. The body just needs to sit. The eyes, the dristi is clear and soft. And as we take these last few minutes of class, last couple of minutes to notice the space that's been excavated, the space that's been created by the practice, by the effort. And some of us are people who feel more grounded with less effort, and some of us are people who feel more grounded with more effort. So wishfully, you were able to, both types of people, the people in between, were able to feel that rootedness now in this moment. And then notice that space there, and let's be intentional about what we put back into that space, because we will fill it with something. It won't stay empty. It's just not how we're wired. Not how the software works. All right, we're meaning making machines, so we'll fill it with something. But can we kind of put respect on it? Can we put love on it? Can we put compassion on it? Can we put collaboration on it? Can we put humility on it? Right? And so as if you're putting new soil in, fresh, fertile, pH balanced, beautiful soil back into that space. You can rest assured that something beautiful can grow there. We can harvest something from there. We can harvest it over and over again if we keep with that same intentionality, that same continuity of breath, that continuity of practice. And we'll close class here, letting the hands come toward the heart. Just like you're closing the page of a book until you come back to it next time. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you for being here, everyone. I hope you do come back next week. I want to, as we kind of get to that countdown again of election day and November kind of getting closer, I do want to kind of have some conversations around that experience. So I'll be sending out a Google form. Midterms are done, so it'll be coming out a little bit earlier this week. So even if you've already confirmed for weeks in advance, take some time just to fill it out and be in conversation. And I hope I see you next week. Namaste.
Thank you. It was great.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you, Kai. That was great.
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate you. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank
And
you, Kai.
yeah, I'll be texting you. Okay. Bye, Chris. So good to see you and practice with you all. See you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adrian.
Hi, thank you.
Katie, yeah, thanks, Ray.
That was lovely.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. Thanks. And then Nora, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I hope that, yeah, we'll text. Thank you, Ray, yeah, Mary, Colleen. Thank you for coming, everyone. Ray, you're well. How's your practice? I'm gonna catch you before you leave. Is it good? Okay, cool.
It's good, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got through midterms?
Yeah, like.
Where are you in the second?
I'm in the third term.
So you finished the first comps?
I know I didn't. So I'm in the third term. So I think Yeah, so I guess
So
I'm in the middle of the third term. So maybe like in the next, so when do I take comps, the first round?
I think maybe after this next,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might be
after
like,
this-
I might be 3.5, I might be actually like a half step behind because I've been like kind of making it sparse since last term. But
yeah,
yeah, it's coming down the pike. It's kind of,
all right, good, exciting.
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I did the herbs midterm. That program is hard, like you said. But the Banksy book has been really helpful. Like the model, the version that you gave me, it's really good to have a physical copy instead of just using the PDF. So
Yes.
yeah, it's
Good.
epic. But I wanted to chat with you more about acupuncture stuff, but I can pick another time. It's kind of cold in here, but I'm thinking about you because I'm like, as I'm going, I'm like, I can't believe this is like what Ray does all the time. Like this is amazing.
Doing well. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that.
All right, I would love that. I would love to like just hear about it and then also come by
Yeah.
to practice and get treated.
Okay, yeah. It's a little tricky because I'm not in private practice anymore.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I could certainly treat you.
But I can figure it out though. I mean, I'm down to like, because you work with a chiropractor. Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah, but we could always work something out. I could come to this space, even.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could. True. We got to get some sort of, yeah, it's warm when it's warm and it's cold when it's cold. But yeah, you could totally come here. We actually were by your house the other day. Corey recognized it. We were driving and he was like, is this where Ray lives? And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I think you're right. So yeah, we were driving around in your neighborhood. But yeah, that. But then also I do need to go to a chiropractor, like in general. I actually want to go to one. Is your person good or you recommend them?
That's fantastic.
They're fantastic. Okay, cool. So that's good. So I should just do that and then just do the whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. But because I've been having this weird like click since I got back from Maine, like when I turn left
Oh dear.
and kind of come back, it's just like in the neck, and I'm like, that's random. Like I don't do a ton of shoulder stands or head or anything like that. So
Yeah,
I'll have them look. But yeah.
perfect.
And how's your mom-in-law doing?
Good, hanging in. Slowing down.
She's what?
She's 98, so she's it's interesting because she doesn't hear so well, she doesn't see, and it kind of affects her connection with the world without that. I mean, it's sort of like the anti-dristi,
Yeah,
It's
yeah, wow.
like nothing that she can grasp onto, so it gives her sort of a forgetfulness and it's interesting how much of our consciousness is connected with our sensory.
Our sensory, especially with our optics, our optical, especially, and yeah, of course, sound and smell. But but maybe her dristi, that's when you say anti-dristi, is kind of powerful because now I'm thinking like, is her dristi so inward?
Yeah, I
That
think
her
so.
dristi is so focused on like the afterlife and so focused on like the seed part of her. It's kind of powerful. I wish I could like crack her, like be inside of her for a second, just like be in that world, like what is she thinking? What is she feeling,
Exactly.
And what's her name again? Is it Helen?
Joan.
Joan, a classic name.
Jojo.
Well, I'm thinking of her and your family, and yeah, we'll catch up soon. I'm here.
Everybody good? Your kids are good, and your husband?
Yeah, Clay and Mighty they're wonderful. They're growing and
Yeah, wonderful.
evolving, and you know how it is. Yeah, I'll maybe share about that more. But I should add some pictures to IG or something. But it's been like it's been an amazing journey, challenging as hell. But Corey and I are stronger than ever, and yeah, in a really beautiful place. And so I'm thankful for that. Yeah, I lost you visually. It's kind of interesting, but I hear you.
You're frozen too. I just hear you.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Oh, an ode to Joan. Joan is like, see, you can still be connected.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But okay, I'll see you next week. But also just, yeah, I'll hit you up and as I remember about coming by the office or figuring something else out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out for sure. Okay.
Right. Enjoy your day, okay?
You too. Take care.
All right, peace.
Lots of love. Bye-bye.